And the reason I think this is a win-win both for the parents who get the scholarship and the school districts, if a child chooses and their parents choose to leave to take the scholarship to a private school, is that it's a limited amount of money. Right now, the public schools have to pay whatever it takes to educate the child, and in some cases, in extreme cases, that can be hundreds of thousands of dollars. So this would say that it's the lesser of the amount of the tuition for the private school or the amount calculated by this bill, and so any extra money that the school district has to find from other sources that they're not compensated for, they don't have to pay that in this case with the scholarships.
Let's empower people, let's encourage people, but most of all, let's save the children. Because when you have children who require special needs and they have to travel for hours to get those needs, or they have therapeutic service providers that only can see them once a month, can you imagine sending your child to school and they're set in a corner every day for however many days they go to school, and it's because that school is not providing them with the educational care and the educational opportunities that they deserve? In the end, did Oklahoma win? This measure will help us do that.
There's no question in my mind that the federal Constitution permits this sort of a program because it's religiously neutral and the parents are the decision makers. So those are the two primary criteria for constitutionality under the Federal Establishment Clause. The parents who participate in the program are ecstatic. I mean, basically what this allows them to do is take the money that the state and local districts would have spent on their child in special ed in the public district and take it to another district that does a better job, or to a private school that will do a better job. The IDEA, the Individuals with Disabilities Act, and its analog here in Oklahoma, guarantee a free and appropriate public education. But it doesn't guarantee the best available education. And what this will enable parents to do is to take the money that would be spent by the district on their child, or perhaps not spent by the district on their child, and apply that to either a private school or another district and get the best education they can for their kid.
When it came time for him to enter kindergarten, he had great care up until then, but when we went to enroll, I found out that his services were going to be cut to about 30 minutes of group therapy a week, to whereas if I had him in private school, I could bring in private therapists, and now he gets 5 private sessions a week, and they were more than willing to accommodate that. Plus the private school has a lower classroom size, which has been instrumental for him. And I'm happy to report that he is going to 2nd grade, the grade that he's supposed to go to. He's making A's and B's, and he's completely flourished, because when we started at the private school at 4 years old, where he is now, he was almost totally nonverbal. So I'm living proof that being able to choose a school has helped my family so much, because it's all about independence. I don't want my child to be a lifelong ward of the state. I want to do everything that I can now while he's young and developing to get him to be independent, and this has been key in our success.
When I moved to Ada, they had a co-op in Ada for Pontotoc County, and all the area schools that were part of the co-op, we happened to live in one of those districts. We didn't live in the Ada district, and my fear was, being a former superintendent, my wife being a teacher, was that what if the co-op ever disbanded or went out of existence? What would our daughter be facing at that time? Since she's a multi-handicap type person and autistic, we weighed that for 3 or 4 years, worrying about it. Well, just last year or so, they disbanded the co-op, and we were fortunate enough at that time to own a couple acres in the Ada School District, and we built a house there, sold our house, and moved into the Ada School District just so we could keep our daughter in the Ada system, which provided those services for the co-op. And that's what it took to get there. This would help so many families in determining what they can do with their child that has special needs. I mean, there are families all across this state of Oklahoma who are making these decisions every single day about how are we going to benefit our child in this way. get better services, or just change services because we feel like there's time for a move in another direction. With this bill in place and the money going with the child, it'll make the receiving district so much easier to look at this and say, yes, we can accept this child. There's a space here for us. We'll take them in. And that'll make it so much easier for the parents to be parents, because if there's one group of people that is going to watch out for that child, you can't pick a better group than the parents of that child. They should have the right to make that decision. It shouldn't be made by lawmakers. The only law that needs to be made is give us the freedom to make this choice and let the law stand behind us on it.